Oh, that's good there, Fury. Ransom go right. Maybe just rolls it a bit tighter, but it still lands. There from Wilder. Good left hook as well from Wilder.
Oh, it's gone down. He's gone down. He's gone down.
Dave's Top Boxing News.
D'ailleurs, peut-être un peu plus chez Viviane.
Et là, il va se
Okay, we'll start with this. Tyson Fury makes a shock decision over Deontay Wilder rematch. Tyson Fury wants a homecoming fight before a rematch with Deontay Wilder. Fury was controversially denied a second stint as a heavyweight world champion when his December clash with Wilder was scored a draw. Talks over staging the rematch in Las Vegas this summer continue, but Fury wants to squeeze in a fight in front of his own fans first. Hopefully I get a fight with Deontay Wilder in America or England. I'm not bothered where it is, he told BT Sport. If it's in Australia or Antarctica, it wouldn't be a problem to me. Wherever the fight is, we'll go. But I'd like a homecoming fight in April, maybe in Manchester or elsewhere in the UK, and then I'd like to fight Wilder again. But if not the homecoming fight, then just Wilder. But if not Wilder, then just a homecoming fight. Whether it happens or not, it's down to them. If they want the fight, they want it. If they don't, no problem to me. They need to redeem themselves, not me. I've done everything I should have done. I don't need to redeem myself or a second chance at glory. I'm the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. I don't need an alphabet title. Hopefully there are plenty of exciting fights left in me. I'm still young at 30. I just hope everyone does the right thing and fights each other, because if they don't, it's pretty pointless being involved in the heavyweight division. At the risk of rehatching what is already one of the most annoying conversations in the entire sport of boxing, we're going to have to rehatch it to get to the truth. We're going to have to rehatch it to get to the truth of what Tyson Fury is contending here. That he doesn't need redemption. He's not the one that needs to seek redemption. Is there any truth in that? And I dare say yes. There is a level of truth in that supersede any of your stupid fuckboy fanboy opinions, man. There's a lot of truth in that. Why though? Why?
Is that a disadvantage?
Well, Tyson Fury was the one who had every reason to lose the Deontay Wilder fight. He's the one who's got every reason to lose. This is a guy who became morbidly obese and battled cocaine and mental health problems. Okay? This is the guy that had not faced an elite level opponent in 3 years. Those two guys he fought with tune-ups. Everybody knows that. And that, what was it, the Safari fight? That wasn't even really a boxing match, you understand? Like, what the hell was that?
Sparring session.
We know what it was. It was a glorified sparring session intended to build back up Tyson Fury's stock while allowing him to get some rounds in. That's all it was.
Safari wasn't no killer.
Tyson's the one who had quite a few disadvantages going into the Deontay Wilder fight. That was not a fight that Tyson Fury was supposed to finish on his feet. That was not a fight that was supposed to go to the cards. That was not a fight where you expected that Deontay Wilder lands the right hand, but Tyson Fury can not only take it, but he can get back up. Not once, but twice. A lot of things happened in that fight that I expected, but some that I didn't expect. And it's that Deontay Wilder would land his money punch, and even that would not be enough against a guy that ain't fought nobody good in 3 years. These are the facts. These are the realities of it. In that way,
Tyson don't need redemption.
It's not simply a quote-unquote moral victory. It's not just a, like a Rocky Balboa kind of moment, because lest we forget, the judges called it a draw.
Remember?
So Tyson Fury's professional record didn't even really take a hit. There is not a loss in the loss column of Tyson Fury's record. So that's saying that he can come from those kinds of circumstances and still be good enough to draw with the WBC champion.
Ain't that a bitch?
But I know Wilder's fans are hearing this, and this does not sound like a convincing argument to them. To them,
they both need a rematch. They got unfinished business.
And I myself can acquiesce that, yeah, they got unfinished business, but
doesn't mean much.
That doesn't mean that Tyson's the one that needs the rematch. It's actually Deontay Wilder who needs the rematch. More so, it's actually Deontay Wilder who needs Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's stock domestically is at an all-time high right now. His stock is actually higher than when he first beat Vladimir Klitschko, you understand. His stock domestically is at an all-time high, and he's winning himself a lot of fans. Not just on his side of the pond, but also in America. Tyson Fury is in a place that he had not been before, even when he held those 3 alphabet titles, for however long it lasted.
Not very long.
And that's saying that out of those 2 guys who fought each other, out of them in that fight, if anybody walked away in a power position between those 2 guys, it really wasn't Deontay Wilder.
Sorry.
Out of Fury and Wilder, in the aftermath of their fight, it wasn't Wilder that walked away in a power position. It was Tyson Fury. And you can dress it up however you like. You can try to explain it away with as many cockamamie explanations as you can conjure. But at the end of the day, the one guy that walked away in a power position from that fight, it wasn't Wilder. It was Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury showed that even under these circumstances, he can't beat me. At minimum, that's what Tyson Fury put on display against Deontay Wilder. That at minimum, under these circumstances, me coming from all of this that is working against me, in a situation where most people didn't even feel I was going to take the fight, and I myself have to admit to that was my biggest
hang up,
drawback ahead of the fight, that I wasn't sure if I should believe Tyson Fury. I wasn't sure if this wasn't just a smokescreen. I wasn't convinced that he was going to take that fight because there's so much working against him. And what Tyson Fury put forth is that, look, even under these circumstances, this guy can't beat me. So even if you want to endorse the draw, right? Even if you say, oh, now Tyson, you did good, but he didn't beat him. Well, Tyson's the one who had the disadvantages in this fight, you realize. Tyson's the one who was really taking a chance here. And in taking that chance, what he put on display is that even under extenuating circumstances, Deontay Wilder does not have the skill to beat this man. And in order for Deontay to redeem himself from this reality, he needs that rematch. He needs to run that back one more time. He needs another crack at the lineal heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Because you got your shot at him. He decided to take the fight even though he was at every conceivable disadvantage.
Tyson Fury was.
And you still couldn't keep this guy down. You still couldn't beat this guy. So it's Wilder who needs the rematch more than Fury. Fury could walk away from the rematch and have, little
keep busy fight,
lighter touch in the UK. He could have a softer touch in the UK right now, and I think that he still could do good numbers. Not Anthony Joshua numbers, because it's a much bigger audience for him. But all the same, Tyson Fury, his domestic stock has gone up, and I think that he can fill a smaller venue.
more than Wilder.
But I'll go a step further. Do you guys have any idea how catastrophic it could be for Deontay Wilder if Tyson Fury decides to forego the rematch and square off against Anthony Joshua? Do you have any idea how catastrophic that could be for Deontay Wilder and his team's plans to raise his stock? Do you know how much of the kibosh that would put in his plans? That could just
yikes
ruin everything. A lot of people out there, Wilder's fans mostly, want to undermine Tyson Fury's contribution into selling this fight. But rest assured that he was pivotal in making this fight what it was.
and making it happen.
The selling point was that out of the 3 top dogs in the heavyweight division, the Lineal, the WBC, and Anthony Joshua, a big part of the selling point was making it seem, giving off the air, that these 2 guys, which are supposed to be 2 of the best, are willing to fight each other. That was pivotal in the marketing of the pay-per-view. You wouldn't have got 325,000 people to pay for a pay-per-view where Tyson Fury's not involved. The same Wilder fans that know who Wilder is also know who Tyson Fury is, and that amplifies the significance of the bout. But if it weren't Fury, who are you gonna put on a pay-per-view with Deontay Wilder?
Name somebody.
Who? Think about it. Who you gonna put on there? Dominic Breazeale? That guy's got the personality of a warm bus seat. He's gonna have to sell the fight? I mean, I saw people trying to undermine Tyson Fury's contribution in really selling this thing and making it what it was. But rest assured, if Tyson Fury weren't your dance partner, that likely wouldn't have been a pay-per-view. So the question then becomes, if Tyson Fury decides to forego a rematch, what happens to Wilder's plan? What happens to the pay-per-view? Would they be willing to put Deontay Wilder on a pay-per-view with someone else? And how would that pay-per-view do compared to this one? Would the same number of people pay about $75 or $80 to watch Deontay Wilder fight Dominic Breazeale? Would they really? Because if that's the case, then why didn't they just make that fight? You wouldn't have had to give Dominic Breazeale 50%. You guys reached a 50-50 split with Tyson Fury for a reason. Because you need him. But if it was so easy, like, we didn't need Fury for that shit. We could have did that with anybody. Okay, well, if you could have did that with anybody, then why do it with Fury? You had to give Fury 50%. If it were Brazil or someone else, you wouldn't have to give them 50%.
More money for you.
You'd have ended up getting the lion's share of the pot, whereas you had to draw it right down the middle to get this guy in the ring. These ain't coincidences, people. Don't lie to yourselves. If anybody needs redemption, it's Deontay Wilder. And if one of these guys needs the other more than he needs him, it's Wilder. He needs Fury. He needs Fury. A big part of your plan that you're exacting to become a marquee fighter, to become a pay-per-view attraction, does involve a rematch with Tyson Fury. But if that shit don't happen, where does that really leave Wilder? Can you really sell a pay-per-view by yourself?
Fury, different kettle of fish. I think he's got a bit more about it. I truly believe Fury wants to fight AJ. I believe that. And let me tell you, AJ wants to fight him. So
unlikely though, isn't it? For
probably
April
unlikely.
13th.
But what I'm saying to you is, Wilder, Fury, Dillian, all three have an opportunity to fight Joshua on April the 13th. Tyson Fury, you want the fight? You can have the fight on April 13th. You know the terms. You know the terms now. You believe you can fight Anthony Joshua? Let's do it. April 13th.
Reports are now surfacing that Eddie Hearn has made an offer to Tyson Fury to face Anthony Joshua in April. And for argument's sake, you gotta entertain the possibility that maybe Tyson Fury takes him up on his offer. But if he does, where would that leave Wilder? I'll tell you where it would leave him.
In the cold.
It would leave him in the cold, and it could be catastrophic. Understand something. Anthony Joshua does not need either Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder to make money. Like, he literally doesn't need either of them to pull in a big payday, a bigger payday than they pulled in with each other. He don't need either of them. But if by some chance Tyson Fury decides to forego the rematch with Wilder to do the dance with Joshua, that effectively leaves Deontay Wilder in the cold. Because you're not going to be able to stage a big event without these two guys.
Fury and AJ.
You needed Tyson Fury for this to be billed as a pay-per-view. You needed him. Because if you could have done it with someone else, then you would have. If you could have. You didn't give up 50% for no fucking reason. You gave it up because this guy's integral to making this a big fight, to making this a pay-per-view event. This guy was pivotal.
You needed his involvement.
So you get 50, he gets 50. But if he decides to go over there and do the dance with Joshua, well, I don't think that they're gonna put you on a pay-per-view fighting Dominic Brazil. Nah, otherwise they would have did that. If they figured you could carry it on your own, then they would have let you carry it on your own. But they didn't, because they know that you can't. Fury is essential. He is integral to Wilder's plan to circumvent the marquee value of Anthony Joshua to raise his own with someone else. But if Fury skips out on you, goes over there, fights Joshua, that's a huge fucking problem in more ways than one. You see, if a victor in that fight is determined, whoever the winner is, whether it's Fury, whether it's Joshua, whoever the winner is, they will undoubtedly be the A-side, and you will have little to no power in the boardroom against them. Wilder's fans have worked vigorously to convince themselves, which is insane, but they've worked very hard to convince themselves that Joshua is not the A-side, even though he does in fact have more world titles than Deontay Wilder. He has a bigger audience than Deontay Wilder. He's generated far more revenue overall in just 22 fights than Wilder has in 41. You put Joshua on a pay-per-view over there in the UK, he's the one that's carrying it. Whereas Deontay Wilder needed help
From Tyson Fury.
to stage a pay-per-view here. Anthony Joshua don't need Fury's help to stage a pay-per-view and carry it. He don't need Wilder's help to stage a pay-per-view and carry it. Whereas Deontay Wilder does need help.
To stage one here.
Wilder's fans don't want to admit this to anyone else or themselves. They've worked very hard to convince themselves that Anthony Joshua's not the A-side. But hypothesize that, okay, let's entertain that, for argument's sake. He's not the A-side. Well, the winner of that fight between Fury and Joshua would undoubtedly be the A-side. You got no argument after that. If a victor is determined in that fight, if that fight were to come off, and a victor were to be determined, whoever it is, Fury, Joshua, they would be the A-side. Wilder can't do shit about that. What the fuck is your leverage in that situation? You're gonna have a hell of a hard time trying to tell the winner of that fight that I deserve 50%. Because that fight in value, monetary value, will dwarf whatever the fuck
You did with Fury.
Fury and Wilder did. Easily as well. Easily. You know why? because there's no discrepancy when it comes to time zones. Tyson Fury has fans over there. He always has. He has fans over there. But his fans had to get up at, 5 in the fucking morning to watch a fight that's being staged in the United States? A lot of revenue was lost staging it here instead of there, because there, you know that Fury's fans are going to show up, they're going to show out, they're going to carry it. Now combine Fury's fans that are over there with Anthony Joshua's fans that are also over there, and there's nothing hampering the amount of revenue that you can generate because both fans are on the same side of the Atlantic. There's no discrepancy about time zones, and the pay-per-view
It's guaranteed to sell.
will undoubtedly be a success, because even if Fury isn't a bankable pay-per-view attraction, Joshua is.
He carry it.
So that event in and of itself, just domestically, would have the potential to dwarf Wilder versus Fury many, many times over. And if that were to happen, if it happened that way, Fury foregoes the rematch, decides to fight Joshua instead, a winner is determined, well, that winner, good luck trying to ace them. Therein lies the catastrophe, therein lies the dilemma. Everything that Wilder and his team have been doing up to this point has been to circumvent the marquee value of Anthony Joshua by pursuing alternatives. Well, if Fury were to fight Joshua, you're all out of alternatives. You're not gonna raise your marquee value or get it anywhere near the winner of that fight
With someone else.
by fighting somebody else. So believe me when I tell you, it could be catastrophic for Wilder. It could be. He better hope Tyson Fury gives him that rematch. He better hope that he doesn't take up Eddie Hearn on his offer, because if Fury does, Wilder's really in the shit. He's really in the shit. This news is surfacing at a time where Tyson Fury's being quoted as saying things like, I already beat Deontay Wilder. I'll do the same to Anthony Joshua. That I've already beaten Wilder, so that's one down, and I'll do the same to Anthony Joshua if given the chance. Well, Eddie Hearn is giving you that chance. The overall monetary value of that clash between Fury and Joshua, just domestically, that's not even counting whatever American network might decide to pick up the fight, offer a flat fee to be able to show it. That's not counting any of that side shit. Just domestically, a fight between Fury and Joshua could potentially dwarf whatever the fuck Wilder and Fury did together. The financial incentive for both sides of that argument, both Fury, both Joshua, to make that fight for the UK fans, the financial incentive is definitely there. I mean, if that many people come out and pay to see Anthony Joshua fight Povetkins and Takams, can you imagine how many more would show up if that were Tyson Fury in the ring? I'll tell you the truth. I don't know what Tyson Fury is going to decide to do next. But what I do know is that he's not the one that needs the rematch. He has options. And he's not the one that needs redemption, because he can walk away from that situation altogether, and there are still going to be people out there saying that he won that fight and he was robbed, that it wasn't a draw, that he outboxed Wilder for the majority of the fight and the American judges robbed him. That there's people out there that are going to keep saying that, even if he decides to walk away from the rematch and face Joshua next. These are the realities of it, and it's in this way that it's not Fury that needs redemption, it's Wilder.